What is good, y'all? SGG Game, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another Pittsburgh Pirates rebuild video, baby. And today we're going ahead and getting through spring training and starting off another regular season year 2 with the Pirates, man. As we look to improve off last season, got a lot more different storylines to follow. We're going to slow down the pace of the season a little bit to get more invested in some of our younger guys that are already here, plus the ones that we've already drafted. So if you're ready for another season, hit the like, comment, subscribe, share out wherever you share your most popular gaming content so everybody can come through and see a little bit more of the series. And like I said, we're going through spring training a little bit because we have some new faces that are going to be making some additions, at least through spring. And we're going to see if they have what it takes to make a major league roster. Now here, we're looking at some of our free agent pickups. Anthony Santander, right fielder that we went out and signed last year. I wanted to make this move just because we did draft 2 B potential, at least, prospects there in the right field area, but those guys can move into left or center possibly and are going to need some time to develop to get up to that level. So I wanted to get somebody in place that could hold down that spot for us for at least a little bit, you know, while the team tries to be competitive at least, you know, and not just be bummy out there and, you know, give them somebody to kind of look into. Maybe if you have somebody that's good at a spot, they'll grow better. You know, have somebody to be almost like a mentor. So I wanted to pick him up as he takes this ball out to right field, deep back at the wall. That ball is gone. And that right there is the reason I got him too, because our home run numbers were lacking last season. And him, as well as our other free agent signing, if you guys didn't see, check out the last video or wait here a little bit because we might play with him a little bit later. No diddy. But we wanted to add in some more pop in the lineup, and there it is. Anthony Santander, first home run of the spring. We ended up getting the dub here. As you can see the updates up top. RBI single sack fly. We ended up winning 5-1 here in this game. And yeah, Mitch Keller, 3 innings, 3 strikeouts, only 2 hits given up. So a great start by him. 2 hits by Ke'Bryan Hayes. But yeah, we brought him in to kind of hold over. So we only signed him to a 3-year deal, which is essentially a 2-year deal because it's got a player option at the end. So if he might opt out or he might opt in depending on how good or bad he plays. So we'll have to see if that move ends up working out for us. Ke'Bryan Hayes also ended up hitting a solo home run in today's game too, as well as getting his first error. And then Paul Sneeze, I think that's how you say it. Let me know down below if I'm saying it wrong. Goes in and gets his inning and 2 strikeouts coming in relief of Mitch Keller. So you see he is up here for the spring as well in the starting rotation. So we'll see him a little bit later, as well as Jackson Wolf, another minor leaguer coming up here for his first cuts. But our other free agent signing, Pete Alonso. Go ahead and welcome him into the black and gold, as I wanted some power and I wanted help in the corner spots of the field. So corner outfield, corner infield. This will help shore up first base a little bit more as that throw will go down, and that will get him at second base. Trying to steal off, but you know the Orioles got a great prospect farm system and a good catcher behind that plate. So I don't know if that steal attempt was worth it, as we do end up getting a base hit right after that. But what good is a base hit when there's still 2 outs down and no speed at first? But this move was all strictly to replace our first baseman currently. You know, I liked what he did. I mean, he did give us some pop, and I would have loved to get him back as a backup, but he didn't want to sign for the lower deal, and he wanted way too much money that I thought he was able to be paid for, whereas I feel like paying Pete Alonso money. He's going to give me higher production and power. Before we only had 23. Now we can get somewhere around 30, 40. And then also probably more RBIs. Average will probably be around the same and a little bit better defense. As there goes the pop from Pete as well. Back-to-back games where the new additions are going long. Derby level damage is at its 472 feet. Out to the deepest of deeps. Left field, and that ball is gone. So that's his first homer of the preseason in spring training as well. I mean, we ended up losing the game because, you know, we just gave away too much there. 11-3. Marco Gonzalez giving up 5 of those 11 in his 3 innings of work here today. But shout out to the team, man. I mean, goose eggs all around except for the bottom part. Alonso went 2 for 4. Henry Davis playing great so far, 3 for 4. As Oliver Piguero, I don't know why I keep struggling with that man's name, gets 2 more RBIs to get up to 3 today. More errors from Hayes, and this time Davis. And then Mitch Keller coming in relief a little bit. Jackson Wolf getting another inning for himself. Giving up an earned run this time around, though, so that ERA is ballooning a little bit. Which will go ahead and drag us into our next game. We're actually going to focus on our pitchers that we brought up this year to kind of fight for rotation spots. A lot of guys we had last year are either gone or fighting for their lives at the bottom for the rotation or in long relief role. And here we're going to start off with what could be rookie Paul Sneeze. Saw him do great at AA last year with the ERA sub 2. go up to AAA, have an ERA low threes. And this year I thought, why not? Let's see if he could make a push to see if he could be possibly ready to come up to the show. So I wanted to go ahead and check out his first start of spring training. He's only got 3 innings to worry about here today as we're just getting the arms loosened and warmed up here. And the first batter he sees is a strikeout there on Kevin Kiermaier. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Not so easy with the next batter though, Isaiah Kenner-Fafier. As he gets it upstairs, 4-seamer at the chest, going way back into left, and that's going to get down fair. Easy 1-out double, and he's already going to have to see what he can do with runners in scoring position. This is exactly what we want to see from him. I mean, he's got a great pitch mix, the 4-seam, the slider. The break is going to come in crazy. The 4-seamer is hitting around 97, 98. As that's a line that gets into the outfield. He had to hold up, though, so it didn't get gloved in. So you do still have a chance here for a double play ball to potentially end the inning still. But Vladimir Guerrero grinding to a double play is almost like asking for, I don't know, I ain't even got a hard of analogy as hard as that is asking for. That's almost asking for your girl to stop cheating on y'all know. Like that is a hard task to ask for, as it's not going to get completed. It's almost as hard as asking a girl what she want to eat. There we go. I found one finally. But one thing that it isn't hard is getting swings and misses with Paul, though. He is very bat unfriendly, except for when he's meeting up against guys that can hit good. But he gets his second strikeout of the game, second out of the game. As a lot of his stuff was pretty swing and miss here early, or just pitches that had guys frozen. As you see, Rowdy Tellez now on the Blue Jays. After being with us, we're going to go ahead and get him to ground over to first. He's still with us. As he goes ahead and ends this great rally that they could have had, leaving it only to 1 earned run here in Paul's first inning of work. Already giving up 3 hits, 1 run. We'll have to see if he kind of calms down the rest of this. It's not a good first impression. Lines this one in the outfield, getting another hit here. That's number 4 of the game given up. And this one's also, that was going to be extra base hits, but he barely got into first actually on time. As next up will be Addison Barger. And I think if he is able to make it, I think it's rotation or nothing. I don't want to see him being a long reliever when he can be down at the. Oh, that play juked out the cameraman as they are able to almost get the double play still off the fumble. Great work there by our second baseman. I think it's Nick Gonzalez out there. But yeah, I think it's rotation or nothing. So if he doesn't play good enough to be in the rotation, but I could see it being a long reliever, I'm just gonna let him go to AAA, keep developing, keep getting better, keep showing off against AAA talent, and maybe just bring him back up mid-season if the rotation gets bad enough. But I mean, between him and the other 2 rookies that we do have fighting for these rotation spots, that's pretty much the same boat they're all going to be in. I'd rather not use them in long relief. It's either going to be in the rotation or they're going down to AAA. Now, right now, Paul is looking pretty so-so. It can go one way or the other. He's given up 4 hits so far, but it's gotten a lot of strikeouts and swings and misses here. As we go to the bottom of the third, we get a chopper on the ground. That'll be an easy out number 1 off Bo Bichette. Not an easy task to do. Just like getting Vladimir Guerrero out, who already lined that RBI single earlier. He's going to line another one. This one goes to first base. He'll fumble it a little bit and take it himself. As that's back-to-back ground outs to Pete Alonso to go ahead and get those first 2 for us. And then George Springer, 2-1 count here as well. As he flies this one out to center field, going back to give chase. As it'll be gloved in. So that's 3 innings strong. As Jarrett Jones actually ends up coming in relief of my boy here. You see throwing the 4-seam slider changeup and has recently developed the sinker. Now that he's up at the major league level, a lot of his predecessors above him, Mitch, Marco, they both throw that sinker. So they were able to teach him, and the sinker ball specialist Jordan Hicks. Between those 3, they were able to go in and teach him a pretty good sinker to have a 4-pitch mix for when he comes up. And he got the relief here in today's game. Just obviously only coming in and pitching an inning. Shout out to Cruz and Davis for the multi-hit games, as well as Lee Oliver. Once again, getting another 3 RBIs here today to get up to 6 while we got the dub today. And in his 1 inning of work here for us, he was able to go ahead and just basically put up a 0 stat line, but zeros are good when there's no hits and runs given up. So still has a 0 ERA. And will actually be coming out in this next game to go ahead and give us a start here. As we look to see between, I'd love for all 3, honestly, to make it, especially these 2, with how highly rated they are. If they can come up here and perform good, I would love to keep them up here. But we have to see, hey, is this sinker ball pitch really going to work out for him, or we're going to have to change it up? So that's something we're going to be looking for in the spring. Is he still able to get outs and work with that sinker ball, or is it kind of mix in with what he already throws? He's got that four seam slider changeup already. And we just throw in another pitch that kind of breaks away from the batters a little bit, and something that he can use as a ground ball pitch. Some people like to say that's what the changeup could be, but all I see a changeup is good for is a home run if you are a skilled hitter at least. So we cannot trust that one to get ground balls as Michael Harris Jr. goes down 1-2 and chops this one on the ground. Actually, it'll be the four-seamer as we're able to go in and get the first out of the game. So one thing I noticed about Jared Jones immediately was here. Obviously making a lot of contact with bats, but it's weak contact leading to outs, which is okay. You know, you don't want to make too much contact with bats because eventually the percentages and numbers are going to work in your unfavor, and they're going to lead to hits here, just like this one does, getting down over the right fielder's head. Santander comes in and gets it done off the wall. But I mean, if you're getting weak contact hits and it's resulting in outs, you can get situations like this. Even though they have a runner scoring position, you got 2 outs. You have a great chance in situation here to kind of work it a little bit here. 12 pitches through the first inning already. Matt Olson will foul that away. 0-2 upstairs near the elbows. And already getting a little chippy for the rookie here as he's showing that he does not care about veteran privilege. Throwing it up around the neck line. Trying to get the swings and misses if he possibly can, as that one's going to be fouled off. And we'll get down. Austin Riley swinging, and they're going to say he went all the way around. Strikeout number 1 of his day. Took him a little bit longer to get that first strikeout, but he is a strikeout guy. Down in the minors, that's what he was doing. In real life, I've seen that's what he's doing. He is a strikeout guy, so we'll have to see if those strikeouts come more and more as he gets comfy, as that ball almost was in fair territory for a homer, but thankfully it will just bounce over for that automatic double. And with no outs, we really got to see what he's made of here. Can he keep that goose egg on the board, or will he tie Paul here with giving up 1 earned run as this one's on the ground? Taking the first himself, easy play. Next up is Jared Kelenic as he pops this one shallow left field. It will be gloved in for the catch, and they're not even going to test it. I mean, it is shallow, but he was off balance. I think I probably would have tested it. He probably might have got out, but I guess 59 speed wasn't enough to want to go ahead and try to do that. And it ends up resulting in a goose egg on the board, though, as that fly ball is caught out left. There goes Brian Reynolds making the play out there for us. And so far, only 1 strikeout, but nobody is scored around as that one gets all the way to the warning track. Almost scaring us there. Almost giving up that leadoff home run in the 3rd. Getting strikeout number 2, though, Orlando Arcia. And as he comes in to face his final batter of the day, it will be Ronald Acuna Jr. If he can get the out here as he chops his slider on the ground, we'll go ahead and pick this one up with ease. Throw goes over to first, and they got him. So that's 3 strong innings of work for Jared Jones as well. We walk out of here with a 4-1 dub. 3 innings, only 2 hits, but also only 2 strikeouts. As far as our team goes, 8 hits as a whole team, but Pete Alonso 3 for 4 day. My boy was going stupid there hitting the outfield. Brian Reynolds, Pete Armstrong both get home runs on the day. Mitch Keller, Marco Gonzalez, both coming in relief. Obviously, it's funny when I see the starters come in first. You should be getting as much of the bullpen as possible, I would think. But letting those guys build up their numbers, and Marco got some building work to do if he doesn't want to end up in that long relief role with this 11.25 ERA. But that leads us into game number 5 here. Performance number 3 as far as our starters go, Quinn Priester. We're also bringing him up. He's a B potential prospect. He's been up here before, back in 2023, where he started 8 games, had a 7.7 ERA. So they sent him down after just those 8, as it was just not working. We're going to go ahead and double check with him, see if maybe he's ready this year or not. Garrett Hampson will be the first batter. He faces, it's going to be a bunt down the third base line that'll go foul, as we're facing off against our former rebuilded team, the Detroit Tigers. You should see how they will build now without me at the helm. See what they do differently. Obviously, no Vladimir Guerrero, I'll tell you that much. But Quinn Priester, somebody else that I want to do good. I also wanted to bring up, I think his name is Anthony Sal. It's a weird last name. It's a long last name, but he's also got B potential, and he's actually got a better overall, but he's younger than Quinn. So I wanted to let him. I didn't think it was time to bring him up just yet. I wanted to see if he can go ahead and keep growing, because, of course, I mean, if he's able to come up too, that's 4 good starters to match up with Mitch Keller. We can get Marco Gonzalez into the bullpen, and we might actually have to be able to have a strong but young starting pitching rotation. So That's the dream. That's the goal. Get up all of our young talent as soon as possible, but at smart times where they're not going to come up here just struggling and get worse. So as long as they can hold down their spots here, we'll be okay. And Quinn Priester looking strong here to start off the first inning at least. As we go to the second and we get the first error of the outing. So I say the first 4 batters down, but not before we drop the ball at first. Thank you, Pete Alonso. Now, thankfully, it is an error, though. We can just go ahead and get a double play here if possible, as that sinker's off the plate. Torkelson will walk over to first. Double play ball is still in play here, and Colt does not have a lot of speed as this one chops on the ground up the middle. Great diving attempt here over to second for 1, over to first base, not in time. I don't know how he was able to beat that one out with only, 34 or 58 speed. I was 34 speed. But Matt Verlaine does have a lot of speed too, so I don't know how likely the double play is here if it isn't hit sharply to somebody. Upstairs with the 12-6. Great break on that. That is the one thing I do like about Priester. His slider and 12-6 both have really good break. Just need a little bit more control in the 12-6, and we might actually be able to have a strikeout pitch with it instead of just being a home run derby pitch here as we throw that slider right over the middle of the plate pretty much, and that's an RBI base hit into the outfield. So now because of the error earlier, I don't think that run will count as far as like being an earned run. So ERA still 0, but that is a 1-0 lead for the Tigers. They don't care whether the runs are earned or unearned. As starting catcher now, Jake Rogers, hitting over 400. We had traded him away because he was not good. So glad to see he's actually performing here. Over 106 hits last season, which is good. Now he'll have to go sit down because he got corkscrewed into the dirt there off that slider, but I'm glad he's actually performing good. I'm glad to see his career taking off here. Zach McKinstry is up next, looking to keep this extension rally going if possible, as that's going to be a high fly ball. They're not even going to look at it. Everybody just turns away. 3-run home run. Zach McKinstry, first home run of the preseason, hitting that one a long ways out in the right field, 432 feet. As now the Tigers are up 4-0. And I'm not sure how those will go by across. I don't know if those are 3 earned runs for Quinn or how many of those are earned for him. But it is a 4-0 lead now, and we just want to see if he has the composure to keep going. Obviously, it's just the spring, so we're going to let him. I mean, he's going to get 3 innings anyway. So might as well just force him to go ahead and get these last 1 1/3 to see if he can go ahead and calm himself down. And the very next batter is a base hit into the outfield. This is not exactly the calm that I was expecting here, but we will get this into third and keep that runner at second base, so at least he didn't score. Probably one of my favorite players in the whole series, Akil Baddoo, Mr. 300, Mr. Batting Title, Mr. I won't say Pro Bowl, All-Star Game attendee, almost MVP. And too bad here in this series he ain't playing like that, as that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. And we move on to the third inning. Still no hits for us as a team. So obviously the runs are not there, but we do get a 2-run cushion here, or at least 2-run of revenge back. As we're looking to see if Quinn Priester can go ahead and make shit work here, as we're going to chop this one up the middle, throw a go over to first base, got him. And then we go ahead and come in here with 2 outs, chop this one on the ground as well. Second baseman with a great dive, and throw goes and just pulls him off the bag. Great play, terrible finish. We'll keep the inning going. And last time they got an error, they was able to make 4 runs account from it. So we'll have to see if we get another inning like that, as Colt out to left will not be caught in. And then 0-2 on the ground past first base as he's able to slip on through. That's a base hit. So we can see here when one hit kind of comes through, it kind of starts to rain and pour after that. So let's see here. Swings and misses down low. That's going to be an easy strikeout. Not able to make anything work there for him this time around. We end up losing the game, though, 4-3. So, I mean, if we had been giving up that 3-run home run, we probably would have been able to catch the dub, which is what it comes down to. Can't be giving up all these runs, but you can look down below. He has 0 earned runs, though, in the day. 1 walk, 2 Ks, but they're saying none of those runs were earned. They were all by the error. Shout out to 2 hits for Pete, 3 for Henry Davis. They are balling in this spring training run here as Jared Trillo gets up to 3 RBIs on the season 2 of that DH role. But yeah, because of the errors there to Lee Oliver Pereiro, O'Neal Cruz, all those runs are unearned. 3 innings, 4 hits, still has a 0 ERA despite losing. Paul Sneese comes in and gets an extra inning of work, keeping the ERA low. Jackson Wolf gets an extra inning of work, keeping the ERA low. Marco shrinking his ERA with an inning of clear stuff. So great bullpen relief here. Just could have afforded a couple more runs, or just no 3-run home run. Or better yet, take away the errors apparently, and we would have won that game 3-0. Now, of course, we're not going to show the whole spring. So here is the end of season stats. You can see everybody got a good amount of points, almost 20 games for everybody here. Good amount of at-bats for everybody. As our runs leader, Anthony Santander, with 14. Hits, we had 5 guys get over 20. Davis with 28, Pete with 27, Kebron and Brian both with 25, and Jared hitting a solid 21. So not too bad at all there. Getting those hits in with limited at-bats. I mean, Pete, I don't know how he managed to get 104 at-bats compared to everybody else, but we didn't really have a solid first base backup option there for him. Home runs, 7 by Pete Alonso, 20 RBIs to go along with it. Santander, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. Exactly what I brought them guys in to do is hit those bombs. It's Drew Jones actually hitting 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. That man would always come through with surprise home runs in our previous series, I promise you. Average. Henry Davis hits over 400. We have 4 other guys hitting over 3 with Brian, Key Brian, Gilberto Celestino, and Sung Su. Now, of course, we had a couple guys hitting bad, and this is really what I kind of look for when it's time to send guys down. Now, of course, Pete Crow Armstrong, we traded for to be our starting center fielder, so not really sending him down. We're just going to hope that this gets fixed. So 152 is unresponsible, but G1 Bay, Jason DeLay, Lee Oliver Peguero. Some guys that looks like it might be sent down. Drew Jones only hitting 238. Nathan Church unfortunately has to stay up here, so hopefully coming off the bench we can fix that 222. But I'm really proud of what the team was able to do. You know, we hit pretty well, we scored pretty well, we pitched great. You see Jared Jones here led in wins 4-1. Paul Sneese 2-2. Had more innings pitched though at 31 2/3, which ended up being the most. As we see here, almost everybody got a good amount of work. We see a couple guys didn't, but most of those guys that didn't work gonna make the team anyway. 15 walks by Quinn Priester leading the way in that category, which is not good. A 6.3 ERA at 24 years old. I mean, we only have one of his options used. He's probably getting sent down. That is not good numbers. Maybe one more year at AAA before we give it one more shot with him. Bailey Falter, I think he might have to go down, at least go to the bullpen. At 10.1 is terrible in 10 innings of work. Paul Sneese, 654. He's probably going to go down to AAA. I don't think he's ready to come up here just yet. 31 strikeouts in 31 innings, though, is very impressive. But I think we will have to use up one of those innings to go and get him down. Now, Jared, 399, 143 whip. He might have actually worked his way onto the roster, so we might have 1 of 3. I like these numbers here. 22 Ks and 29 1/3 innings. Only 12 walks. Out of the 11 games that he was able to play, he was able to go ahead and obviously, start 6 of them, win a total of 4 of them, 4-1. Even come in and get 3 holes, 30 hits, with being second most behind Paul, who had 39, and significantly more innings. He also gave up 10 less runs, as Mitch Keller ends up being by far the best pitcher with 7 runs, 29 hits given up, and his time spent there. 10 home runs given up by Paul of the 23 runs. He almost gave up as many home runs as some other players did runs. Strikeout per 9, to know who our strikeout guys are. Of course, they're mostly in the bullpen, but Paul actually was up there as the highest strikeout guy, 8.8. So that is something part of this game to look forward to. Quinn Priester, 6.7 on the walk rate. Got to get that down and work on his walk per 9. So kind of setting up the final rosters here for us. We'll go with Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Marco Gonzalez, Bailey Falter, and Jackson Wolf in our rotation. Being the long relievers being Johan Oviedo and Jordan Hicks. Just because I don't feel like enough people did good. Like Bailey Falter would definitely be in the long relief role if we had one of the other 2 rookies perform good. So Paul or Quinn, if one of them had done good, they would have been in the rotation. We would move Bailey Falter over. But we'll have to roll like this with actually Jackson Wolf is a rookie too as well. So don't let that leave you out. He's just not one of our top prospects, but he is a rookie. Then as far as the lineup goes, we have Pete, Cabron, O'Neal, Anthony, Pete, Brian, Henry, Tamar Johnson, not only making the team, but making the starting lineup at second base. And then Jared Trillo as the DH. We have Gilberto Celestino, Gabriel, Nathan, Nick, Song Chi Chang, all making it on the bench. So we have different options there for second base. Now, one thing I did notice is that not anybody over there really has first base backup capabilities. We only had one person on the team that did that, and they were also a starter, Anthony Santander. So I went to the free agency market and found Carlos Santana here, who has pretty good defense as far as his fielding goes. He gives me a contact bat, power bat, so he'll come in and not be a liability on offense or defense. So I'm going to go ahead and sign him to a 1-year, $2.4 million deal, or I guess we can go down to, okay, we ended up going down $2.1 million deal to go ahead and bring him onto the squad to be a backup first baseman. And with the numbers that he put up in spring were not that impressive, just slightly more impressive to stay up here. But his numbers during the regular season not being good either. I'm sending down Nick Gonzalez down to the AAA level. So the only second baseman up now is rookie and high prospect and starter Tamar Johnson. So we'll have to see what this lineup of guys, this pitching rotation of guys is able to do this season. You know, last year we were able to score a lot of runs, but the pitching staff was kind of questionable. And then they would go on a little bit of a hot streak. And as a team, we would go on a hot streak. So I feel like we'll go as our rotation goes for this season. I'd say the number one goal, though, is to win more games than we did last year. Although part of me does, kind of want to tank again, try to get that second or first pick. But with the lottery odds, we might be able to still jump while being good. So definitely want to get more wins than we did last year. Not hitting 100 losses again. Those are some of our ultimate goals. You know, start here on opening day for us as we're facing the Colorado Rockies. They've already played, I think it was 2 games, a 2-game series against the Dodgers. Like, somehow they managed to do that, like, the second to last week of when we were supposed to be in spring training. I don't know how MLB The Show allowed that to happen. But we'll be going up against another rookie, Mike Vasil. Coming in and pitching for the Rockies as he's making his MLB debut here today. Against a pretty, I'd like to say, pretty fearsome lineup. Like, we don't have any, like, extreme big names. But this is a lineup that can do damage and can do work. And we're going to look to put the league on notice here in the first game out as Pete Crow Armstrong leading us off with that great speed that he has up at the top of the lineup as he flies this one out to left field. It doesn't get to flash the speed that much. Let me know down below, what are you guys' predictions for the season? What record do you guys think we're going to get? Let's have some fun with it down below. Let me know what record you think this team of guys will be able to produce. And let's just come back to it later so we can see who was right, who was wrong, who was close. I think it could be very something fun for us to look at there. That's going to be a ball that gets down in the gap. O'Neal Cruz getting in for the EI double. He's going for 3 as the throw comes into the cutoff man, and they're going to go to the plate. Just making sure to prevent the inside the park home run. But you know Coors Field has that long center field. So if it rolls enough, there's easy triples to be afoot here. And it gives us the early 1-0 lead. As Anthony Santander swinging over the top of that pitch as Mike Vasil gets his first career major league strikeout. Against a pretty good hitter too. That's nothing to talk about there. And he comes right back and gets P. Alonso as well. So your first 2 strikeouts against the two most powerful guys in our lineup and 2 really good power hitters known across the league. As today we're rolling out Mitch Keller once again, second straight year being the ace, the opening day starter. Last year kind of fell off at the end of the year. That's why the ERA is so high. But I think for most of the year he was actually a very, very good ace. I think he could definitely bounce back this season and produce way better numbers than a 5.03 ERA. And of course, we have to go up against this Rockies team. Thankfully, they're 0-2, so obviously they're got a little bit of bad momentum, bad juju heading into this game. So hopefully we can keep them at this low point as Rogers pops this one up out to Johnson starting at second base, and the rookie makes his first put out of his career. Up next is Colvin Biggio as he lines this one out, going deep back to right field. You know there's carry here in Coors Field at the warning track. It's gloved in. Anthony Santander able to make the play on that one. Way to go ahead and get it down and in. As Nolan Jones grounds this one over to Cruz. And we will end this inning peacefully. 1, 2, 3. We'll now jump up to the top of the third, making Mike throw a lot of pitches here. He's already up to 37 through only 2 innings of work. And the first one here in the third is going to be a bloop base hit into shallow left center field. Brian Hayes already having a decent day. O'Neal Cruz right after him. And he'll go ahead and walk on down to first. So that'll be his second walk of the day. The first one ended up going to the man right in front of him. But now Anthony Santander with runners in scoring position. Last time was set down on strikes. How does he look to get revenge here? 2-2. Upstairs. And actually it won't be him that needs to get revenge, at least now, as that one goes off the top of his shoulder blade. He'll go over to first base. Pete Alonso will come up, and we have bases, juice, no outs. 36 homers, 98 RBIs last season. Let's go ahead and make it 1 for 4 this year if we can. We're already up 1-0. You got to think that might be a good one if it breaks onto the plate with that slider in on the hands. Nothing you could do with it. Trying to keep everything as far on the corners as possible, because if he lays something over the middle, we might be on that. 2-1 here. Upstairs. 3-1. Do you challenge it? I mean, you give it a run if you don't, so it's got to be over the plate. I would think 3-1. Slider is close. It gets the check swing, but they're going to say he didn't go around. Walking home a runner is his third walk of the game, and it gives the Pirates a 2-0 lead here, enhancing to Brian Reynolds with still nobody out in this inning, and he gets a ball right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit, and we're going to score 1. We're sending the second runner across. The throw will come into the plate and not be in time. Anthony Santander from second to home on the base hit up the middle. And the inning is still not over yet as Henry Davis comes up with a 3-1 count. Rookie Tamar Johnson is on the on-deck circle awaiting what could potentially be a great RBI situation here in his early career. Can we get him bases loaded, no outs as well? As you see there, Mike has thrown 22 pitches this inning. Still hasn't gotten an out yet, as that's going to be a fly ball going out to right field, and it will drop down in front of the fielder. And that's it. The Rockies have seen enough. They're going to go to the bullpen and bring in Kyle Freeland. He's already played 2 games this season. Only managed to pitch 1 inning, which is crazy. So hasn't come in for long, but he comes in today tasked with the opportunity to slow down this offense that has no outs, bases juiced. Thankfully, you got a rookie at the plate. But this rookie is not no slouches. He's showing off good eye here. Didn't like anything to do with that sinker, so he's waiting on it. There he goes. Pitch up in the zone. That's going to get down for a base hit. We're going to be fine with this. Our 1-run scoring. We'll keep bases loaded. Still no outs. And it's Tamar Johnson getting his first career Major League hit and RBIs. Boy, that nose look big. Did it look like a bumblebee stung it? Look like a clown nose? I don't know. But what this looks like is a free double play. 5-4-3. So Jared Trillo ruins the rally as the non-hitter. You would expect that. But it not before an RBI is able to score. Then Pete Crow Armstrong here trying to bunt one down using the speed, and it's not going to be in time. Gunning him down at first base, but we are up 6-0, and we'll take things top 5 here as Brian Reynolds coming up. Kyle Freeland still in the ball game here, 20 pitches deep, as he's been doing a little bit better at closing us out as we chop this one up the middle. That will squeeze on through for a base hit. And Henry Davis will be up next. His 0-1 here. 2 for 2 already in the day. Make it 3 for 3 as that's going to get down the outfield. It's going to be a base hit, not going to tumble down with it or anything or run past it. So we'll have to stand over 4 runners at first and second, unfortunately. But Tamar Johnson back up. 2-1. Gets one on the ground, and this is going to be a ground ball over the short. Easy 6-4-3. Not in time. So just the 6-4 put out, and then he beat out the infield throw. So fielder's choice there that time is now at least leaves only 1 out. As now we could potentially beat out another one and still score a run here. Chopped on the ground. Throw. Goes over to first base. That's too much speed by Tamar Johnson. Not even going to attempt to go to second. It is 7-0 Pirates here. As we are actually looking good on offense. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. We're going to go ahead and send around the runner. He's coming on home as he will not be touched. Tamar Johnson with that 85 speed. Able to go ahead and bring him on around as Rogers or Armstrong as Kebron Hayes gets this one into the corner. Are we going to try to send Armstrong? He's got 99 speed. You know he's going home with ease as he probably is in there jogging. Kebron Hayes, first double of the season, getting an RBI too as well. They're going to finally go to the bullpen again and bring in Lucas Gilbreth. 2 games this year, 2 innings of work, 3.15 ERA, 500 average against righties, 429 against lefties. I don't know if you want this man in as hot as our offense has been right now, but we'll take it. With already a 9-0 lead, we can really blow this one wide open if O'Neal doesn't want to just pop the ball in the air. That could have been easy plays to keep the inning going and keep the rally started. But here, we're just going to start another new rally. The next inning, top of the 6th. That's going to get down in the gap and be an easy leadoff double. Pete Alonso's in there scampering. He's going to slide on, and we didn't even have to. His first double of the season. And it don't matter who they throw out there right now. It looks like we just got all the answers here. It's Lucas Gilbert trying his very best here. He's going to go ahead and load up for the throw. But that is going to be a long fly ball deep out to right field, way out of here. I was wondering how long it would be before we saw one of our players hit a bomb. And I did not think it would be Brian Reynolds hitting the first one of the regular season. 374 feet as that ball just carried out of here. 2-run home run, 374 feet there for us. It is an 11-0 ball game. Now we're going to switch things over back to the pitching. I know we've been focused on our here basically all game because it's been electric. That's what happens when you score 11. But Mitch Keller, to not be disturbed, is on a great game right now. Giving up no earned runs to the Rockies, kept their offense at bay. Here as we get a strikeout upstairs on Jones. Nolan Jones going to have to go sit down there for us. That was strikeout number 7 there for Mitch Keller here. As he gets a ball up in the zone. That four-seamer will be taken out into the pitching dugout. Actually, farther than that, as that ball just disappeared. Ryan McMahon, 473 feet like it's spring training. First home run of the season. And just like that, I mean, it doesn't really give that much hope, but you're now only down 11-1 and might have just rattled Mitch Keller a little bit here. This is on the ground. Easy play over the first. Sean Bouchard. 0 for 2 on the day. 2 outs. They're down to their final couple here as that ball is going deep out to left field on a rope, and that ball is gone. Another solo shot. This one is his 2nd of the season. And while we were over here struggling to find home run 1, they found 2. They got the signs up and everything. They love Sean Bouchard out there. I wish y'all the love that y'all have for y'all team would actually devoted to some runs here, because this game is still well far out of hand. They're getting home runs with nobody on, so that's fine with me. It'll keep the game 11-2. Popped up. Toyer. Not able to make it happen. Swings and misses through the cutter downstairs. That's 7 strong innings of work, and he's coming back out for the 8th. Only 78 pitches at this point. Why not keep it? I mean, we have a huge lead. Why waste the bullpen here if I don't have to? Keep them fresh for any blowout games where we might need them. But here they get their base runner on, and then right after him it's Francisco Mejia. Watching one in on the hands for the 2-1. Gets one that he pops up to Hayes. Gloving it, making the play there. Keeping the runner at first too as well. And now just a simple double play ball will get us out of here by Brendan Rodgers as he's in on the hands. Watching that pitch go by. 2-2 here. Strikeout number 3. Or strike number 3. Strikeout number 7. Actually, now as we are now on 7 home strikeouts for him on the day. And then a chopper over to Alonso. He's going to actually go to second for the easy play. And now we'll go back to the Pirates to see if they can increase this lead with one last inning of hitting to do before we take things to the bottom of the 9th and really get wicked. You see they made another pitching change. Tyler Kinley is in the game now. Just by having good success with Freeland there, they actually go ahead and switch everything up here yet again. And this is going to be a ball that gets off the gap of the wall. It's an RBI double there for Tamar Johnson. His first double of his major league career, and it leads to another RBI to get us back up 12-2. And then Jared Trillo flies this one out to left field. It's going deep, way back. Is it's going to go ahead and be gloved in. They're going to go ahead and chase this one down into the infield, but not before it's too late. And then Crow chops it to the ground. Throw goes over to first base, not in time. My boy has that Ichiro Suzuki speed. Infield hits are not infield hits for him, as he's over there at first base now and taking off for second. The throw is low and inside, down to the second baseman, and not in time. Able to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and steal off a second back here. That one's going to be called strikeout number 2, but we're in there at third base still all the less. And now any kind of hit will be a chance to score across Armstrong, as we do hit this one right to somebody. It's in shallow right. We're going to go ahead and test it. Why not? See if it works here. Throw goes to the plate, and we not in time. 14-2 ball game. And you got to wonder, are we done yet? No. Base hit that goes into the gap. You know this is going to be 2, possibly 3. That 87 speed is moving. It's low and up against the wall. We're going for the third base. If we can't throw, we'll go over there to him. Not in time. Getting a 2-out triple to possibly try to add one more run in here if we can. And then Santander chops this one on the ground right past first base. And there it is, man. RBI for Anthony Santander. That's 15-2 heading into this ninth. That's plenty of cushion for Mitch Keller to go ahead and try to get this complete game if he can. As this is going to be a fly ball out to Crow in center field. And he got it. Down to their last 2 outs here as we get a strikeout in on the hands of McMahon. Now they're down to just their last lone soldier. It's Jason Hayward trying to make something happen as he watches a 3-0 count. He cannot think that I'm about to lay something over the plate for him. I'm about to give him a little something here on the edge real quick as that's popped up off the end of the bats. Going back towards shortstop, and that's O'Neal. He'll go ahead and glove it. And the Pirates are able to go to get the victory on opening day here, man. We start the season off 1-0. One of the few teams that is still perfect. And not to mention a great offensive and pitching performance here today. Didn't see errors too much. The pitching was fantastic. You see that, look, 0 errors. No errors today. Mitch Keller gets the dub, only gives up 2 earned runs. And the offense, 19 hits as a squad, capitalizing for 15 runs. As we're able to take this game from the Rockies here in their own home territory too as well. Which has got to feel so satisfying. Brian Reynolds 3 for 5, a home run, 4 RBIs. Dub goes to Mitch Keller, of course. But shout out to all the multi-hit games. Pete, Gibran, O'Neal, Anthony, and Tamar, all with 2. Henry Davis went 4 for 4. The solo hits, Pete and Jared, we will go and work on those and get those up for them. But I'm really proud of the guys and the team. A lot of RBIs spreading the love here today. Reynolds' first 4 RBIs, Johnson's first 2, Pete, Gibran, everybody's first RBIs here of the season are coming in today. Mitch Keller, 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned, 8 Ks. And a 2.00 ERA because of the 2 solo home runs he gave up. So only has room to shrink and go down from here. Now, of course, we do have the rest of the 4-game series against the Rockies. Then we go out to LA, play them. And then we come back home for our first home series against Atlanta and New York before heading out to Cali to go and play San Francisco and Los Angeles. Coming back home, playing Cincinnati and San Francisco. Going on the road to Miami, which will be warm before we go ahead and go home to Cleveland. They're trying to freeze us with frostbite. They're trying to make it to where we don't want to play. And I don't know if I would ever go up there to play in the time of April. Because I know it's snowing and I know it's raining. But next time out, man, we will get deeper into the season. We obviously have Jared Jones's first ever start up here. So we're going to get into a player lock game. Get through about maybe halfway or the first couple of weeks of April. Like I said, we are going to slow down the pace a little bit here. Focus on the gameplay. Focus on our new young guys. And how well they're developing. Of course, leading to yet another season to draft. So hope you guys are enjoying the series and enjoying the content. My boy's name is SmooveGotGame, aka SGG, aka G and Smooth. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on your way up the video. And next time out, Jared Jones, you better act good. Or at least you better be good. Catch you on the next one, man. I'm going for the day. Later.